Hello everyone and welcome again to Casanova Properties. I hope that you have been following the videos in sequence because we're talking about a case for multifamily. We started out with single family and we're slowly going into multifamily and the benefits of investing in multifamily in apartment buildings. We've spoken about lifestyle, we've spoken about economies of scale. We've spoken about the fact that it's actually easier to finance the larger buildings. Now, I haven't talked about the fact that there is less competition. I mean, think about it. How many people do you hear shopping for a single family residence? In fact, when you talk to investors in general terms, you hear a lot of investors talking about acquiring single family or condos, usually in an urban area. So how many people do you actually hear talking about acquiring 30 units, 20 units, or 50 units? Very little, right? Just by that alone, you know that there's less competition. If you want to get into multifamily properties, you're looking into apartment buildings, it's always best, it's definitely a good thing to get the right education, to get proper coaching. I know that I did it just for the sake of getting educated in the first place, but the fact that I had no idea how to get into the commercial space. So that helped me a lot. But you will find that the pool of real estate investors moving into the commercial space, and when I say commercial, that's not to be confused with retail or corporate. It's multifamily residential buildings. Anything 7 and up, it's considered a commercial mortgage. Let's just leave it at that in terms of terminology. So there's less competition when you're focusing on larger buildings, on larger properties. I'll touch upon maybe one more point in all of the reasons why we chose to invest in multifamily properties. And that is the fact that it's less risky and it's less volatile. So when I talk about less risk, I'm talking about the fact that the more units, and I've touched upon this in a previous video, the more units that you have on a property, the less risk you're going to have from losing that property. So like I mentioned before, if you have a single tenant on your property and they leave, it's 100% vacancy. But if you have 4 units, 5, 6, 10, 20, 30 units in a single property, a single vacancy is not going to affect you that much. Even a couple of them is not going to affect you that much. In fact, it may even be a non-event. I know of real estate investors that have a huge portfolio, and at any given point, there is somebody leaving and there's always somebody coming back. It's simply a non-event. Now, it's less risky from that perspective, but it's also less risky because it's less volatile when you compare it to other types of assets within the market. If you look at graphs between real estate and you look at graphs within the money markets, let's say the stock markets, you will always find the volatility in the money markets is going to peak. Their peaks are going to be higher. Both of them are going to grow steadily over time, but you will find that the volatility between the two is lower when it comes to real estate. So in those 2 points that I've touched upon today, one of them is less competition and the other one is less risk. So I hope so far I am making the case with you, for you. I hope that I am providing lots of value. Please remember that you may message me at any time. Feel free to do so. If you want to learn more about what all of this is about, why all of a sudden I'm talking about all of this, this is being shared right now with many people in my network that may not know about my journey in real estate, but it's also being shared amongst the networks of people who know that I've been involved in this for a while. So either way, feel free to send me a message. Feel free to get in touch. I would love to hear more about you and know your comments. I would love to understand if I am providing value to you. I would love to understand how much of that value. And I would also love to hear from you if you have any questions, any comments, any challenges, anything that you would like to add, anything that you would like to hear. So I'm going to leave it at that for now, and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye-bye.